Good mornings, good evenings,
good afternoon, good day. How's everyone doing? Welcome back for the premiere of season 13 of the BGKH Show. And I just want everyone to be clear that this season is going to end with episode 300. 300 of the BGKH Show. And I'm so excited. I see Eccentric and Best Friend and Dylan and Lola. Lola excited because she's off today, so she can finally join us on time and watch us in live time. So listen, what's more important is that she's off from her job.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Come on,
that is the most important thing.
Congratulations. Happy New Year, everyone. So happy to see smiling faces. So glad y'all are here. Hey, Best Friend. Hey, Dylan. Hey, Lola. Hey,
we got stories on top of stories on top of stories because it has been a fun time off. And we got to talk about our plans for the fall because, bitch, we already plan ahead. So we're already planning for next fall and next Christmas. So
yes, God. And listen, rightfully so, because the bitch. So this is a promise that I'm making to myself. A bitch is big. I laugh and joke with one of our other friends, and I call him the budget baron, little tiny tyrant, 007. But the listen, that budget baron part, I'm like, bitch, I listen, I'm mad, but you got to start somewhere. So, bitch, if I have any hopes on doing any and all the things I need to do, bitch, this is how we're going to do it.
Maybe all of the plans that we're going to do for anything after World Pride will be in place by the second week in February. Trust and believe.
Listen, and a bit, I'm not getting ready to stress about no shit. This is what it's going to do because this is everything I'm trying to do, everything I want to do, and we're going to make it happen. So that's what we're going to do. So
yes,
yeah. But
yeah. So how has it been since I didn't have my cookies and cocktail party? When was the last time I saw you in person?
Last time you saw me was when we stopped over on your side of town to go look at when you were picking up stuff for your sister.
Yes. So that was more than a month ago. So it was right after the show ended because, baby, I was like, all right.
Listen, let me tell you something about, because I got my own thoughts on, because listen, just first of all, I'm glad everybody's here, and this is more like a wrap up, catch up episode. So I don't have any stories whatsoever.
We don't have a lot of stories. We only got one big juicy story to talk about in the leather kink and fetish community.
Well, listen, so let's get to that too, because
we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that, but listen, I absolutely appreciate the type of work that I do. And one of the reasons why I decided to get back into the type of work that I get into is because of the winter breaks. And the winter breaks have become essential. The winter breaks have become, like, I look forward to it. Like, it's my time to reset for some strange reason. Well, not for some strange reason, but it's just my time to reset. And so you come to, you look forward to those things. And that's what it really was. But the thing that I've realized is your break has absolutely nothing to do with anyone else's time at all.
Exactly.
And that is the unfortunate lesson that I have not 100% learned. And this was probably the worst of that, because literally I was sitting there thinking about all the stuff that I did, and I was writing some stuff down, talking about all the stuff that I did and everything else. And I was just like, bitch, I was exhausted. I was exhausted, like in a good way, but it's like, bitch, I'm exhausted. Not like those other, winter breaks that I've had where you come back, you're like, oh, bitch, I'm refreshed. I did this, I did that, and I just felt great. Bitch, I am exhausted, and I'm just now getting myself together. Hey, Joshua, and so it's.
So you didn't really rest on your vacation,
but while I was able to sleep every night, great. Was I able to rest? No, because I was constantly doing something. Like between work, every single day of the time I'm supposed to be off in the morning, roughly 40-minute job. What are we doing? Is that me? That you? What's going on? Hi.
That's you. I'm fine. I think that's
okay.
you.
Between the 4.5 and 5 hour times of trying to get set up for this my job and this new system and all this other crap, baby, I'm exhausted. And so then it became an extended day for me. While I was not working at one job, I started working at the other job. And so, I think I told y'all I took a little part-time gig just because I wanted to get some extra cash for the holiday. And, I was doing my little cruise and everything. So I just wanted to make some cash. Listen, that turned out to be one of the, I'm not going to say the worst things ever, but it was not as advantageous as I thought it was going to be.
So the money wasn't worth it?
Child, not at all. Not
them two shekels you made,
baby. I was sitting there having a conversation with Grace, baby. I don't even think I made $1,000 for that in that time period that I was at. Listen, now again, the issue was, this is retail. I don't give a fuck. This is retail. This is raw. Some fucking some bullshit. All I want to do.
It's not like you're trying to make it into management there. So
listen. All I was trying to do was come on in here, give me some extra coins and keep it moving because I can pay for a few things. That's it. That's all I was trying to do. Mm-hmm. Baby, it is still retail. Retail is still retailing. They don't give a fuck about what you got going on. They want you to work this hour to this hour to this hour to this hour. Even from a corporate standpoint, at one point, Ross closed at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Use a fucking lie. There's nothing I need from Ross at 1 o'clock in the morning.
1 a.m. in the morning. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then to have the nerve to say, well, can you work until, can you close it? A bitch what?
Can I?
And so while that's the time that they close, baby, you still need to then clean up. When I tell you I worked at one of the worst.
Clean up? What the fuck is there to clean up in a department store?
Baby, when I tell you at the end of the night, so my past experience when I worked at, FJ Maxx, it sounds like FJ Maxx. When I worked there, I was in men's, boys, and toys. Ironic, but whatever. So at the end of the night, I had to go through each of those sections.
That is ironic.
Right. I had to go through each of those sections and straighten them up. So, and one of the things I think I was telling you all was that, when the things that I've noticed was that when women come in and shop for their men folk, they come through the men's section, they just hold up stuff and then just throw it over the racks. They just hold up stuff and they throw it over the racks. So the men's section always look a fucking mess. When most men shop, if they do that holding up, they're putting it in their cart or they're putting it back on the hanger. Like, they're just not doing that.
Who just leaves the clothes out like that? That's tacky.
And then on top of that, some of the women are coming in with their kids. So guess what they send them? Right on back to the toy section. I was like, okay. So then now you go back to the toy section. They done play with every toy out there because it's got a price tag on it. They want to, Jewel, try me. And then it's noises and it's bang, 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 bang. And so and that's right.
I just want to pause to say that is different from when we was a kid, because I don't give a fuck if my mother was buying bras. You better sit your ass right here next to this 36 double D bra and shut the fuck up.
Baby, they send their kids right on back to the toy section, and that's where they were. So then here I am, I have an attitude because I have to go through and clean up after them. So I got clothes underneath the racks, I got hangers up, all this type of shit. Then they go into the boys section, so they're looking for the clothes. Again, same thing, picking up clothes, just throwing it everywhere. Then by the time I get back to the toy section, the kids done already demolished it. So then as I try to maintain it, I would go back and set stuff up, and then they would send people back, and I'd be like, Junior, going up front. I just straightened up the kids section. No, if you're not here with the parent, baby, you can't come back here and play with these toys. No. But my mom said, I said going up to the front and go play with your mom, but you can't come back here in the toy section. So that's how it would always, and I hated that. Well, from that experience, all I wanted to do was get on the cash register, ring people up, and send them out the door. Baby, listen, I will, baby, when I tell you I will add you up and get you out of there, I will ring you, ding, 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 ding. This is your total, here's your credit, and thank you to the next person. Please. Like, let's just get through this line. Like, I just want to get through this line and get you, listen, I'm gonna get you in the door, out the door. Like, that's just what I want to do.
Right.
Baby, the doors open and close all night, and I'm standing right there by the door. So I would wear something like a thick shirt or like a thick jacket like this. But baby, the moment I get in there, then I start to sweat. So then as I'm sweating and the doors is opening and closing, I was like, okay, this is not going to end well. And sure enough, guess who decided to catch a cold before they decided to go on their cruise? I'm working every day. Then I go into Ross. Then I'm doing the Ross thing or whatever. And then that was like the first week. And I think you had already left. The second week, I'm still I'm still working or whatever, but I'm working even later shifts because again, they're open till 1 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. So listen, I'm already having an attitude because I'm standing on my feet and I'm working this. So I would work, and you're supposed, if you, for anything over 5 hours, you're supposed to get a 30-minute break for anything over 5 hours. Along with a 15-minute break. So basically you'd have a total of 45 minutes where you're not on the floor. The 15-minute breaks, you weren't supposed to leave the store, but the 30-minute breaks, you're supposed to clock out. So you don't get paid for that. Okay, fine. Well, baby, I'll be working so much. All of a sudden I look up, I'm like, wait a minute. We get ready to close at 12 o'clock. It's 10:30 and I ain't take my break yet. Oh, well, you're the only cashier here, so I can't let you go on break. A bullshit. So I had that happen to me one time and one time only.
So they didn't schedule anyone else, or everyone else called out?
But listen, so I was hired as seasonal. So I'm not a full-time, part-time person. I'm seasonal. So they just thought that they could just throw me anywhere. A bullshit. Yeah, no, ma'am. Again, I'm giving you the best that I got. I'm gonna go ahead and get like, okay, then let me do all right, okay. Baby, but you're not going to kill me, and I have to get up and go to my day job after this? Oh, no. Or at least I felt like I did because I had other shit to do at home. Oh, no, baby. No. So we finally got through those 2 weeks of random here and there. And baby, when I got that paycheck on that cruise and that direct deposit hit, I was like, did y'all miss a decimal point or something? Did y'all miss a zero somewhere? Because the way
these numbers are not right. Something must be wrong with your math or something.
The way I was working and sweating and dealing with people, and people are just nasty. And listen, I will raise my hand up because if shit's not right for me, I'm gonna go and speak on it. But baby, people are just the stuff that I found, the way people were walking in the store and stealing stuff. Listen, BGKH Show fans, let me just be clear. My particular location where I worked at, they have they're supposed to have loss prevention at all the Rosses or whatever. Why was there a group of 2 girls, 1 guy that would walk into Ross, go all the way in the back into housewares, pick up complete sets of pots and pans, bring all of them to the front with a couple of items, and they charge you for bags. People don't want to pay the 10 cents for a bag, but they want to buy $600-700 worth of merchandise, but they don't want to pay for the bags. So you come up in here with all the security tags and everything else on them, and you say, I'd like to pay for this one item. Okay, well, I can bring that up, no problem. So what about the rest of stuff? Oh, I came in with that. You still have the security tag on here, ma'am. So,
and here's the thing. Let's say, because, again, I told you about my cousin Joyce, who used to tell you when you're a kid, if you're going to tell a lie, tell a convincing lie. If you did buy all of this, was this Ross inside of a shopping center of some sort?
Like an outdoor, so there was like a Bob's Furniture, there's a Ross, there's a FJ Maxx, there was like it's like a whole big shopping center, like outdoor shopping center. You got, you have to walk from each store or whatever.
Okay, so you're not in a mall.
No, you're not in a mall.
So let's say you did buy this shit from the other store. You ain't getting no bags from no girl. And so was the thing that they were trying to pay for? Did they say it was the cookware?
Bitch, they were trying to pay for
like one sock.
They were trying to pay for like 2 and 3 pair of like kids' shoes, a couple of notebooks or something like that. You have like $400 worth of merchandise and you have spent less than $30 and you're gonna sit here and say you're gonna walk out with this, and literally we'll turn around and walk out. The sirens and everything are going off as you're walking, beep, 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 all of this stuff. Now, to be clear, we are always told, baby, that's not your job. Your job is to bring this stuff up. Listen, you don't have to tell me shit, because let me tell you what I'm not going to do.
Yeah, I mean, baby, you're not getting shot or stabbed over a
motherfucking discount shit from motherfucking Ross and DD's. Oh, bitch. Oh, absolutely not. No, ma'am. So, right. But they always tell you, but baby, when I tell you the unmitigated gall that these people had and didn't do it once, did it twice since I've been working there. This is only a month.
It was the same people?
Twice.
Girl, so they don't give a fuck, because if they've done it twice since you've been there, they've been there at least, they've been there, or they are regulars at this point.
One of the store managers literally was standing there videotaping them on her phone because she remembered them as they were in the back getting stuff and also walking out the door.
So what did she videotaping for? Did she provide that videotape to the police or something?
Listen, I don't know what the fuck she did.
Did they have a mask on or something?
Literally walked in just right. Me with my fisherman's hat on and you with your free protein shake on. And we walk to the back and we just gonna go grab some stuff and come on back out. Like we go shopping in our own warehouse. That's what the fuck we doing.
Wait a minute. Which Ross is this? No, I'm kidding. Because Ross has always seemed dirty to me.
And it was. Listen. So here we are a couple of times when I'm trying to get us out at the end of the night. So when I say at the end of the night, we're supposed to clean up. So if we close at 11, we should be out of there no later than like 11:30, because if you do it right while you're in the store, during the store, before it gets closed, before it closes and it gets less busy, you are able to go through and straighten up stuff. So you're able to take hangers down and clothes and all that stuff. You straighten all that stuff up so that when it closes, you got to do a couple little things and then that's it. You're ready to wrap up. Baby, we wouldn't sometimes get out of there until like maybe 45 minutes to an hour afterwards. And I would be pissed because I was like, after we spent this extra 45 minutes, you'd have put all this stuff into a cart and then you put it all over into the fitting room section for them to go ahead and sort it out the next morning. One night, just from picking up in the men's section alone, the clothes on the floor that I put into the cart, and I'm 5'10.5" tall. This cart was taller than me with all the stuff that I piled in here. I pushed that entire cart over to the fitting room section. So whoever came in the fitting room section that next morning had to take all that stuff out that cart, put it on hangers, and put it back up where it was. And that was just the men's section. We're not talking about the housewares. We're not talking about the women's. We're not talking about the kids. We're not talking about the toys. This store was always a mess. Now, again, I didn't give a fuck because all I wanted to do is get my money and keep it moving. But baby, she wore me out. And then this little 20% discount, I went to go use it outside the store one time. They were like, "Oh, do you have your Ross card?" Well, no, I just started working. They didn't give us a card yet. They were like, "Oh, we can't let you use your discount." What? Well, here's my employee number, whatever. Girl, you can call the store. This is my manager. If you don't have the card, we can't use it. Girl, let me stop you right here because I know how much you make, and I'm not gonna make your day any worse than mine. But listen, you take this merchandise. I'm gonna go get it at my store. It's okay, girl. It's all right.
Right.
It's all right, girl. And then they had the nerve to cancel the card. Anyway, that's the end of that story. While I'm at home, I trying to get myself together, trying to rest up or whatever. I knew that I was going on my cruise. So running around doing my work during the day, got some stuff done, ran on your side of town, all that stuff. I then decided that I didn't want to leave my child at home for the entire length of my cruise. So I said, listen, I'm gonna go and take it up to my bestie's house, go take that stuff up there to take, go take my child up there. I was like, listen, she'll stay with her auntie, my BFS, we'll take care. Like, I'm cool. It's cool. Baby, I grabbed my child. I put her in her cart. And I went to go driving her up there. So I'm in the car. So she's doing her thing. She's meow. She's like, meow. I'm like, girl, you fine. You good. You're going to go visit your cousin. Because the best friend has a fur baby as well. His fur baby's name is Moisha. Or his fur baby's name is Moisha. She's probably about 6 months younger than Clark. But again, she's probably last time I saw her, she was smaller than Clark. But when I went to go see her again, she's the same size as Clark. I'm like, God damn, this baby's big. But okay, fine, whatever. Mm-hmm. Listen, I took my child out her little carriage, and she walked out. She was giving very much of like, what's going on? What's this? Where are we at? What's going on? So I was like, girl, you good? You fine? I'm just talking to her, whatever. Moisha comes tumbling down the steps like, dum, 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 dum. Now my cat is coming into this house for the first time, so I know that Moisha is feeling like this is her space, and I get it. Baby, Moisha hissed at my baby. I was like. I had to get myself together. Mm-hmm. My bestie was sitting there. He was like, "Child, they be fine. They be fine. They be fine." I was like, but I was looking at my baby. She was giving very much a Karen Walker like. She was giving very much a Karen Walker like, "What is this? What's going on? I don't know what this is. What I don't know. I don't understand what this is." It was so. Oh my God, I felt so bad. So we wound up going out, ran to the store, got a few things. Then we came back, and I was like, well, let me say goodbye to her. Child, she was gone. I didn't know where the fuck she was. She was hiding somewhere. She's under, I saw Moisha, but I didn't see my cat. I'm like, well, what the fuck? I'm like, where's Clark? I'm like, Clark, I'm leaving. Love you. Child, she wasn't nowhere to be found. I get home. I tried to pack up my shit, which I did in like one day. And I started watching television after I got everything together. I cleaned up my house, did like all this stuff. I was exhausted trying to get myself together. Mm-hmm. I'm watching television, and this movie comes on called A Dog's Purpose. I don't know if any of you have ever seen this movie, but it is about this dog who has lived several lives and has come back a couple different times, and how each time he came back, he was connected to his original owner. So you have all these thoughts and stuff of the dog, and just different conversations. Baby, when I tell you, I boo-hooed and cried the entire night because all I was thinking about my baby, like, she's trying to tell me something. She's trying to say, come get me. She's trying to say, come get me. I was a mess. I was a wreck. And I was
keep going.
I was like, seeing her, and she eating. I put her food out. I was just like, he's like, okay. So again, I'm like texting her, I'm trying to figure out like what's going on, like is everything okay? Just being a mess. And I was just so like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? And I had the nerve to sit there and think like, okay, wait a minute. Let me go get my baby. Let me go and bring her back home. Let me see if I can call somebody and make sure they can come through and check on her because I want to make sure my baby, listen, I'm trying to be a good cat daddy. I'm trying to make sure my child is right. So while I'm sitting there self-soothing, and part of my self-soothing was I had actually had to, I had an herbal refreshment, and I also had a little fruit roll-up or a gummy, if you will. So I was already, I got through that evening, and I was like, all right, bing, bang, boom, I'm trying to get on the boat. The next morning, I got a text message from the best friend, and he sent me a picture. He's like, oh, I found her. I sighted her. She's good. She came out to eat, so on and so on. I was like, okay, great. So I felt better. That was the last picture I saw of her until before I came back. Now, I told you I got ready to go on this cruise, and I got on the cruise, whatever. Now, I think I was telling you all before on this cruise, it was going to be a 7-day cruise, whatever.
So what did I miss? All right, wait a minute. All right, so last I heard, you was in an existential crisis because you thought your baby was going to die. So keep going.
Right, I thought my baby was going to die. I thought she was going to die, and I entertained the thought. I entertained the idea of going to go get my baby and bringing her back home because I was going to call somebody to come stay with my baby. I literally entertained that thought. But like I said to everybody else, I had a little herbal refreshment, and I also had a fruit roll-up, otherwise known as an edible. And my ass was, I was like,
you calm the fuck down and realize everything was going to be all right.
And then the next morning, the bestie had sent me a picture of her saying, oh, I just saw her. She was here. She came out from underneath the couch. She was hiding, blah, blah, blah. Because we couldn't find her because he was looking for her all over the house. So I was like, okay, great. Well, she's fine. I was like, she's adjusting. They'll get it together. Her and Moisha will, they'll figure it out. I was like, okay, great. All right, fine. Mm-hmm. Then, as I was getting on the boat, I don't know if I told you all, I made the reservation through. I didn't make the reservation directly through Carnival. I did it through a third party, and so I had some issues with that. I've been fighting with them about changing my birth date. Of all things, I know my motherfucking birthday, like of all things. And the irony of the whole story is the birth date that they had in there was the date that I booked the trip, October 18th. So I was like, what are y'all like? How do y'all not like? You know what I mean? So I was going back and forth about who could change it. I've been fighting about that. I was fighting about, whether I was going to have a single room versus a double room, like all this. I was just fighting. Then it was, working at Ross and, the late nights, the temperature, the small little paycheck, like all this shit. Like I was getting so pissed off. And the day I picked up everybody, because I wound up going with 007 and Gray's family, and we were all out there. The day I picked everybody up and the day I got on the boat, I walked on the boat, and once again, I burst out into tears because I felt like I'd been fighting for so long to get on this. I just burst out into tears. And so Gray's like, he's like, please don't start doing that. You're gonna make me cry. So listen, I was just happy to be there. I was like, listen, it's gonna be a new experience. I've never done New Year's on a boat, all that good stuff. So I had a wonderful time. We stopped at a couple different places. The whole family was great. I even went down to the casino because I'm not really a gambler. I told you I would give you some slot machines. I was playing Fun 21. Listen, it was like blackjack and everything. So I was, had my little coins here and there. I was, it was cool, it's cool. Listen, I ain't won shit. I done lost all the money I took out of, but at least I had fun doing it. So it was okay. It was cool. Drank like a fish, all that good stuff, all of that. And then I come back home. So of course, when I come back home, I'm going to go pick up my baby because I'm excited. I'm going to go pick up my baby. We'll pick my baby up. I come in there. I couldn't find my baby. I didn't know where she was at. It took me probably about 20 minutes to find her. So then when I did get her, I put her right in the bag and, I lured her out with a little cat treat or whatever. And so, whatever. Got her home. When I say it was like she fell out, she was exhausted. I was like, what the fuck? Because when I got there, I was talking to the best friend. I said, hey, Eric, like, what's going on? He said, listen, they were fine. He said at first they had a little moment. It was a little hissing back and forth. He said, but for the most part, Clark had backed herself up underneath the couch, and Moisha was trying to come towards her, and Clark was like, "Get out of here! Get out of the way! Don't come here! Get out! Go!" I was like, "Okay, well at least I know my baby can take care of herself." So I was like, "Okay, fine." Like I was good with that. But when she got home, when I say she passed out, you have a kid with you all day, and you've been running around, and then all of a sudden you put him down there, just like, baby, she passed out. She was sleeping on me the entire time, but my baby didn't eat for the next 4 days. She did not eat. I don't know if she was just emotionally just upset. I don't know. I thought it was the food. I was trying to change her food. I could change her litter, but she would not eat at all. All she wanted to do was sleep on me, and she did that and I was so concerned. Like once again, I was like, oh my God, something happened. Maybe she got too cold. Maybe her and Moisha did get into a fight. Maybe she's hurt. So I'm picking her up. I'm looking all over her. Listen, let me be clear. I trust the best friend, and I know he's not going to do anything to her. But, anything that happened, maybe he didn't notice. And because he was working and everything else, I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
When she finally started eating, once again, I cried again. Baby, I could not get myself together. So I had a whole emotional roller coaster with her. Shortly thereafter, my ass starts going right downhill because I told you I got a cold before I got on the boat, and I felt like I was getting better because I had a cough. So I was doing cough drops and everything else. I get off the boat, and so like every single day I felt like it was getting worse. So I was like, okay, all right, cool, fine, whatever. And the last time we spoke, which was in the meeting, like on Wednesday, I was like, oh yeah, but I was trying to hype myself up, but I was like, bitch, I was fading fast. Oh
my Lord, my poor baby.
And then the next morning, that's when I got up after I decided, like, okay, well, I'm gonna go do all this stuff or whatever. And I decided to go to urgent care. When I walked into urgent care, because first of all, the way I drove to urgent care, listen, Dominion will make jokes about how I drive and everything else, but one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Listen, that whole Ultima story and all that stuff, that's kind of me. I kind of drive like that. I ain't even going. I can do that. That's cool. But when I was driving up to urgent care this time, I was like this. Because it took me 4 hours to get out of bed. I woke up at 7 o'clock because I wanted to get there at 8 o'clock. I didn't leave the house till damn near 10:30, almost 11:15. I was exhausted. I just couldn't get myself together. I got to urgent care. They did the chest x-ray. Then they told me it was like, you have flu and pneumonia. How the fuck do you have flu and pneumonia?
Maybe you got fucking Ebola.
Like, how the fuck did that happen? I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the fuck? Then they gave me all this medication. They gave me an inhaler. And I was like, I'm not taking this fucking inhaler. I'm doing this shit. But the fucking medication, I took all that. Listen, once a day, I'm laying down, chicken noodle soup and everything else. Another one of our brothers called me and basically cussed me out because I said I didn't need anything. 7. Was like, what the fuck you mean on this? If I find out you can need something, I'm gonna cuss you. So I got cussed out for that. Then I got an emergency drop off from 007 and Gray. They just knocked on the door. It's like, here. I was like, but he's like, here. I'm like, I appreciate all that. It was some crunchy stuff. Like, it was great stuff. And I was good. I had heat. All I had to do was lay down. I had food, but I was exhausted. So I had to call my job, tell them I wasn't coming in. So once again, just exhausted. And then I finally went back to work. Today is day 2 of me going back to work. And I wore this hat. I was in this, listen, you ain't gonna get me sick again. I'm just already cold. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm seeing customers like, hey, come on up. What can I do for you? Yes, I got a hat on. You want me to look like this? You want me to look like this? Which you want me to look like? What we doing? And again, my hat just went down. But again, still, my whole point was, baby, listen, I'm not 100%. I ain't feeling well. I didn't get my hair cut. I didn't do any of that stuff because I was just exhausted. Mm-hmm. So I say all that to say, when I was saying earlier about my trip, I had a lot of stuff going on and it was great, but bitch, I was exhausted. Like, I'm actually now resting. Like, I'm actually getting rest. Like, that's what I am. So I had fun. And then even during the gear show and MAL weekend, which I did not go to because I was fucking exhausted and I was still sick, there were calls that I was getting. And I know you got calls as well, but there was calls I was getting because I was talking to 2 other brothers about what the stuff that's going on for the gear show, which is something I usually do on the back half and Dominion's out on the front half. So it's like we're in 2 separate worlds, but we know it works and this is what we do. So marching them through that process was one thing. Talking to my other Brista, Maximus, she was calling me 9 times a day. I was like, if you call me one more goddamn time, I was like, you are. I was like,
and baby, when she wasn't calling you, she was pulling me to a side. I just got a question for you. And I was like, girl, what? And I was being nice. I was like, but in my mind, I was like, girl, what do you want?
And listen, I appreciate you.
I do too.
On it. I do. I appreciate it. But baby, when you said it before, like, bitch, we can have a tactful silence. Wait. Bitch, we can sit and be like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But listen, I get it. I understand it. I appreciate it. And I love him for it. But baby, he was wearing me out.
Especially when you're not feeling well.
Also, happy belated birthday, bitch. And I owe him some stuff because every year his birthday comes around. I know it comes around and we always have shit going on. And listen, I bitch, I owe you. So we're going to have this conversation. We talked about a couple different things. So we're going to see some stuff in the works. But again, this month of time was I felt like I was doing more work than anything during that month of period of time. And so rest was probably the least amount of things that I did. Because even when I was on the ship, we got off at a couple different places. I did get in the water. I took my, did some pictures and all that type of stuff because I was feeling good on the boat. Listen, it was great. I had a great time. But it was a lot of fucking work. Like, it was just a lot of work, just a lot of busy work and stuff that you're doing and moving and just, and I was asking, I said this question before, when did our fucking jobs become 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Like, when did that happen? Like, when do we get to like turn that stuff off and just be done for this time period? And then you not feel guilty about not doing stuff. Like, that's the part that gets me. It's like, what the fuck? When does that happen? And it's like, I guess we don't have those jobs. We don't have those positions anymore. I don't have that position in my job anymore because I apparently I just can't do it. But baby, I appreciate my job. I appreciate my paycheck. But baby, we need time to disconnect all the time and just to sit and do absolutely nothing. I don't want you to call me. I don't people need those types of breaks from their jobs, their situations, because it helps you to reset and recharge. Baby, I'm already running again. Say it again.
I said, 1,000%. Yeah.
And so with the start of the new semester at the Black Degree Factory, we're already up and running. We're already the day ends at 3 as far as taking the last person in to see them, but we don't leave out of there until 6:30. Baby, I'm already exhausted. And today, because I had another appointment, I was like, I am leaving at 4 o'clock. I wound up not leaving till 4:30, which was fine. I still made my appointment. But baby, I am you listen, I have a whole new see these people now like, hey, how you doing? What you I'm good. Listen, I'm trying to laugh, I'm trying to joke. I'm not gonna stress myself out. So I had a great time off. It was a lot of work. I didn't really rest a whole lot, but I'm trying to get better at it. And I'm also trying to get better at doing this budgeting shit. Because like Dominion said, we got a lot of shit that's planned for the next year. And for next year and just shit that's coming up. And then I have some other plans just on a personal note that I want to take care of. So again, that's been my whole break. That's everything I got. And Joshua, yes, I am feeling better. Thank you so much. I just took my last dose of meds today. So I still have this little remnants of mucus and a cough that I had that I'm still coming out of. But other than that, like I'm feeling a lot better. I don't sit down and pass out because I'm tired, and I'm good. The one thing I will say is I had a one coughing attack or sneezing attack where I felt like I broke something because I coughed so hard. It was like, ah!
Feel like you busted a rib?
Feel like I busted a blood vessel in my fucking head, and then my chest felt like it cracked. I was like, what the fuck? Other than that, like I said, everything is all back. So I've rambled on about my break. That's everything I got. But listen, I'm happy to see you all. I'm glad to be back. So that was my break. That was where we were. That was where I was rather. So
Best friend said next time call him the pet sit.
Oh my God. Best friend. Oh.
But that's not going to be possible because this year we are going to be going to the same places.
That part too. Yeah, that part. But if we are, we just need to, I might have to ask that caveat. Like, do they accept pets? Because I want to make
no, girl, because they do accept pets, but they do have
there's a deposit, I'm sure.
A huge deposit. And I'm allergic to pets, so.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even know that. But okay, well, that's cool. Yeah. But again, I'm not trying to take her out of the place anyway. I ain't trying to take her. Listen, I love my cat. Let me be clear, but I'm not that cat dude. I am not. Her name is not Fluffy. Her name is Clark, Klarke. Thank you very much.
That is such a gay spelling.
Clark Jillian is her name. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was my break. So, also, when I didn't go to MAL, I got sick. I felt bad because I felt like I ruined it for a couple other people because I was supposed to have a roommate Deviant. And so, we were splitting the cost of the room and everything else. And so he was like, I don't know if I can carry that. So I felt bad about a lot of different things, but bitch, my body was just like, I just couldn't do it.
He seemed to have a fabulous time. So I think he was all right.
We spoke afterwards and I kind of saw a quick little video and I said, that bitch was fine. That bitch had fun.
Yeah, so, he was perfectly fine.
Yeah. So, but all in all, and then the gear show was great. All the pictures that I heard, everything went well. Like I was never concerned about anything that was gonna go on as far as the front of the house. I just had a couple of concerns in the back of the house because but everything went off well. So I'm good. I feel like it went okay. Your reports, Maximus reports, a couple other people reported out, even Kevin, a couple other people just kind of reported out. Like it was all good. So I was very happy about that.
Yes.
So, but that was my whole break from everything. So, yeah, so that's where I was. So I know your vacation and your break was filled with lots of stuff as well.
'Twas. So, when last we spoke, I was prepping to go to Fort Lauderdale for 2 weeks, and best friend was going to join me. And that ended up being exactly what happened. And as one might expect, I have some notes.
Listen.
So on Tuesday, I decided I was going to do everything. I was not going to let anything hold me back. Not like I normally do, but I was like, we're just going to enjoy ourselves and take the days as they come. So this Latin guy hit me up on I think, what was it? I can't remember if he hit me up on, it was probably Jack, but let's say it was whatever it was. And in the middle of fucking him, I realized that he smoked meth. But I was already in the middle of it. So
wait. wait. I just had a flashback. I'm sorry. I know it's you talking about, but I just had a flashback because I had this guy come over one time, and he had, I think it was Beth or Tina, and it was like little crumbs, and he dropped it.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me.
I'm sorry.
No, but so we were at his house, and he lived. He stayed in a place. So it was they had taken what I guess was a back patio or a back room and turned it into a bedroom. And but it had its own entrance to it from the backyard. So I come in, he's sucking me off, then I'm fucking him, and then he says, "Let me take a break," and then he says, "I need to take a smoke," and I'm like, "Sure, baby, it's your house, you can do whatever the fuck you want." And I looked and I was like, "Girl, what is that little bulb?" And I was like, "Oh, girl, this girl is smoking crack."
Baby, listen, hide your kids.
Sucking me off. But then he kept sucking me off, and then I was like, I was let it finish. But then, I mean, it was his house. I mean, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? I guess I was supposed to be like, no, you are not. I'm leaving here. But then he was, his mouth and his butthole was blocking the door. So
be also something that I learned as well. Be careful because sometimes there's oral or anal entry. And so I remember I was messing with this guy, and baby, when I tell you that booty hole was singing to me, then it dawned on me he was doing bump. I said, "I'll be damned." I'm sitting there, and I was like, "What the?" Go ahead, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Side note on a sad note, I was reading something along these lines, and at one point, Pam Grier was dating Richard Pryor.
She married him.
The reason that Pam Grier can't have children is that when she was with Richard Pryor, he was doing so much cocaine that it was in his semen, and it ruined her vagina. It ruined her uterus to where she could not have kids. So that's why. Maybe I don't know if she wanted kids, but that was just like an anecdote. I was like, God damn, how much cocaine do you have to do that it has built up to be concentrated in your semen?
Listen, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it was all from his semen. It could have been. Listen, I'm not saying that Pam Grier ever used drugs. I don't know if she did or not, but what I am saying is, he could have been putting it on the tip of his penis and then putting it in. Because I know that there are some people that will do that as well.
Oh, Lola said, yeah, he would put coke on his dick before entering her.
Yep. Then that part. And if she didn't know it, yes, she got high, he got high, everybody got high.
Yeah. So then there is a new spot. So you know where Alibi is, right?
Yes.
And then there's the store that I like to call Tacky Fierce.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. It was about the one right on the corner, or right next to the end,
right next to Alibi. So yeah. It's Alibi. So if you're facing it, it's Alibi, Tacky Fierce, the Thai restaurant, then the little store where you buy swimsuits and all sorts of shit. Yes. Well, right in that corner where there used to be a bank and everything, they built a little spot, which I don't know how long it's been there, but I don't remember it being there before, called No Manners, which I think is the cutest name, given that it's in Wilton Manors, and the name of the spot is No Manners. So anyway, Elimination is with a group that was having an event there, and that girl's never going to see this spot, but not Elimination, but the woman that I'm going to talk about. So it's this group it's like this Black empowerment group, because when you live in Florida, you got to have these things, because in DC they're just groups, but you got to have this specific group in South Florida, and they were trying to raise events and stuff. And so the gays there were either trying to cruise or just chill and drink. And she was like in full business mode. And she was trying to engage me in this full conversation about, what I thought about these ideas and stuff. And so here's the thing. She pulled an Oprah Legends Ball move where everybody was supposed to wear this like t-shirt for the event. And this bitch showed up in a 2-piece silver sequin ensemble. So, as it was just she was just giving a lot. But anyway, so I had a few observations about some of the clientele. So one of the guys was he had on this ensemble that had a lot of patterns. He had on a tiger striped hat with a camo print pants and an orange polka dot top. It was just a lot.
It sounds so stereotypically South Florida birdcage-ish. Like,
but this was a Negro. I mean, he was very birds and trees and the birds and the bees.
So, it sounds like
one of those kind of people, yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
And then so part one. I have to read this.
Did drug all
this is my observation. So the big booty, light-skinned cutie hugged elimination for a quarter second too long. This meant that he really wanted some dick, but elimination did not want to put in that much work. That's part one. That's my elimination observation, part one. Part two. When the big booty, light-skinned cutie walked away and elimination saw how big the booty was, suddenly elimination was excited and gave him the number. So I need to follow up to see if he followed up with him. Now,
isn't this how this happened before with elimination? But what's up elimination, by the way? I don't know if he's watching or not, but yeah, did we have this?
But this happens a lot with elimination.
Right, I was going to say okay.
Yes, we've had a similar sort of conversation before. Yes.
Okay.
So then we left no manners and went to Alibi, and there were heterosexuals tongue kissing at the bar, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then the cute bartender was even straight, so I was like, oh, okay. So that was Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, best friend arrived. But before he got there, I was at Ramrod, killing time before it was time to pick him up. And listen, I don't understand what kind of friends some people have, but when I was like, I kept saying, all right, it's almost 5. I got to go because I can go pick up best friend from the airport and everything. It was like, just let him take an Uber. I was like, no, I'm not going to let my best friend take an Uber from. First of all, the distance from where we are in Wilton Manors to the airport is like 15 minutes. It's not like he's at Dulles. It wasn't like he was in Miami. And even then, I probably would have still gone to pick him up because there was just no way. But they was all like, you should just let him take an Uber. I was like, yeah, that's not happening. But anyway, so I had just gotten I hadn't just gotten my nails done. No, I didn't meet them until after that. Whenever I met them. Anyway, so I picked best friend up and we went back to the house and discovered that there was a dead cat in the backyard. It was just like, because I had seen this cat walking around before, like in the days prior before best friend got there. And then I noticed it was there and it was all stiff. And best friend was like, this cat's dead. And I was like, oh, well, shit. And I was like, please don't let this be an omen of how the trip was. And it was not. So Friday, we went to the beach. That was very calm and restful. We had a lovely time on the clothing optional beach, watching clothing optional people and had ourselves a lovely time. Friday night, I went to Slammers and it was fine, but it was not busy by Slammer standards because on Wednesday night, they had their Christmas party.
Did Louis show up?
I don't know. I didn't go on Wednesday because what was I doing on Wednesday? I can't remember what I was doing. I was at the event in No Manners, and I was just doing other things, and just ended up not going. And I was hanging out with other people and other friends, so didn't actually make it there that night. And then they'd had another party on Thursday night. So I think by Friday, like a lot of people were worn out, but I still managed to fuck 5 guys. So, I was fine.
I mean, you're a giver. I mean, that's where we are. Like,
yes. And then on Saturday, so one of the guys that I met at Ramrod, so best friend and I went and got our nails done on Friday.
Okay.
And then we went to the beach. And then Saturday, we went to a Christmas party. This guy had a really nice house. It was a normal size, Wilton Manor, South Florida size house. But he had done the backyard really. It's like the backyard that I want to have when I have my house in South Florida. It had a cute little pool and a hot tub, and he had taken all of the grass and covered it with astroturf. So it was a cute little spot. And every homosexual, I think, in South Florida was there, including Tobias.
So listen, first of all, I think that Tangerine Dreams had one of the cutest backyards I'd seen. It's a little bit too much greenery for me, but it looked great as far as how it was laid out between the pool, the hot tub, and then the patio area. Everything else beyond that was a little bit too much for me.
Yeah, this pool was about half the size of the pool at Tangerine Dream. Oh, okay. And it had a hot tub, and it was a cute little spot. And then and then on Sunday, I decided, I had initially said that I was going to cook a whole Christmas dinner. That was part of the calculus of finding the house, was that it had to have a nice enough kitchen for me to cook and everything. But as I got there and started thinking about it, I was like, girl, I do not feel like cooking for 7, 8, 9, 10 people. So I said, bitch, I am making a big pot of red beans and rice and a Greek salad. And it was cute. And so I made, a big pot of red beans and rice with sausage and Greek salad with homemade dressing. And everybody loved it. We came through. We had a cute little time. Monday, we did absolutely nothing. And when you talk about being able to exist in companionable silence, that's what we did. Sometimes he was in the backyard in the hot tub. Well, I don't think he ever got in the hot tub. That hot tub had so when I first got there, the hot tub, I was like, it's a little green to me.
Oh,
and then and it had too much chlorine in it. So then I called the owner. He adjusted the chlorine. Excuse me. And I got it in a couple of times, but it just really wasn't quite giving what I wanted the hot tub to give. So it was fine or whatever. But anyway, we did absolutely nothing on Monday. And then Tuesday, or Christmas, it was actually Wednesday. So we went back to Hallover on Christmas Day, because I thought that would be a nice way to spend Christmas Day, is to actually spend it on the beach. And so we were just enjoying ourselves, just chilling on the beach on Christmas Day, feeling thankful that, here we are in a nice warm, South Florida weather. It was not hot. Now, it was actually hot when we went a couple of days before. It was like 80, 85 degrees. It was only like 72, 73. So it was warm enough to be on the beach, but not nearly warm enough to get in the water. But then it started to drizzle. And then at first it was just a light drizzle. And we was like, all right, we're just going to test this out. But then that drizzle picked up, and then it was like a heavy drizzle. And then also, I guess I was actually surprised by the number of places that were closed on Christmas Day, because I had assumed that we was going to stop at a Publix and pick up some, some sandwiches and stuff. But girl, why was everything closed? The only thing closed all over was some Jewish delis. So we got these sandwiches, and then so I was like,
but I mean, that was how it was when we were kids. It was, you used to close then. Yeah.
I was like, girl, I can't get no cheese on this sandwich. Because, they don't do cheese on meat, because that's not whatever culture. And so I was like, the sandwich was good, but to me, a cheese, I mean, we was on. I mean, Lola, we was on the beach. I mean, Chinese food on the beach didn't really seem like the move. So we just wanted to get like deli sandwiches and whatever. So we got cute deli
sandwiches sound a little bit more classier on the beach than the Chinese.
Yes, it's a picnic. No one has shrimp fried rice and egg foo young on the beach. Come on.
On Christmas Day. Christmas Day means you're on the beach.
And then so we left Haulover Beach and drove back to Sebastian Beach, which is right there in Fort Lauderdale, and that was cute. And then we went to a cute little tapas spot that night for dinner on Christmas Day, and had a cute little time. And then for old time's sake, I went back to Slammers on that Wednesday night, and that was old time's sake because I first started going to Slammers when I worked for ICE, and we would have to go to South Florida, and there used to be this website, I don't know if it still exists, called cruisingforsex.com. And that's where you could go and you could look up a city and it will be all of the spots where you could fuck. And some of it was just like, oh, you could fuck in the forest or in this park, but it would also give you like a listing of the sex clubs and stuff. And that was how I first discovered it. Was called The Eagle in Exile, and it's in the same place where Slammers is now. And I started going there in 2005 when I had to go to Miami every month for work.
What was that? The gay travel book?
Not Damron's Guide.
Damron Accommodations. That's what that says.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was just about sex. So I went back to Slammers on that Wednesday night, and that was cute, and I had a little bit more fun. And then I left Fort Lauderdale on Friday morning and drove up to Orlando for Volt and Isu. Volt and Isu had a Kwanzaa party.
Okay.
And that was really nice. And so we hung out there and went to this really nice steakhouse on Saturday for Shinzi's birthday.
Okay.
And that was all really nice. And I got to so normally when I come to visit Volt and Epic, I stay in the guest house. They even got a gallon of distilled water that stays in the closet there because I'm the only one that uses it and everything. But he was like, Mom's staying here. So I got to meet his mother. Mother's an absolutely lovely woman, but she's like in her 70s or whatever. So she just sat there and was watching TV. She wasn't paying no mind to nothing that any of us was talking about. And, you know, we just had us a cute little old time. And then I came home and still had another week of vacation, thank God. And so I didn't really do much of anything. But when I got back home, I just was sort of in a low tide, so to speak. So I didn't feel like doing anything for New Year's Eve. So I normally have like a very small group of people over to the house, but I was like, I don't want to do nothing. So I didn't do anything, and I wasn't going to do anything. The only reason I even acknowledged the passing of the year was because my sister called me. And so we was on the phone, you know, me at home and she in the rehab facility and put in the new year. And that was when I decided I was going to get out of this funk, because I have been living my life, but you know that I've been in a funk essentially since June.
Yeah, you was ready to go. Like, let's be clear, you was ret to go. Like, yes. Ret to go. Like, I can't even. It's taking me longer to say the words ret to go. That's how quick you was ret to go.
Yes. And so this year, I feel like even though I did do. To some people, it seemed like I did a lot, but there was a lot of stuff that I was planning to do that got put on pause because I just wasn't sure what was going to happen. And so now I'm just going to realize I just got to keep moving and keep living and whatnot. And then so as we mentioned already, Epic and I are back in leadership of Onyx Mid-Atlantic. I'm the president. He is the vice president, although he did abandon me for our first big event. Because listen, no, he did not abandon me. I just want to be very clear, because I'm not at all trying to make him feel bad, because I know that he really was like, because I texted him. Let me see how this went. So I was like, hey girl, so because we was going to do a fab performance, which was just now going to be a Code Red performance, but that's fine. So we was going to do a fab performance. And then so I was like, okay, hey, let's chat. And then I got the shopping list, and there's like, what time are you coming through? And then on Thursday, 9 o'clock in the morning, because I had taken off, I was like, bitch, I got a lot of shit to do. So I'm off Thursday and Friday and Monday. So I was like, what time are you coming through? Also, good morning at 11:45 a.m. He says, at urgent care, battery low, hit you afterwards. And then I was like, okay. Then that afternoon, he messages me or calls me, and I was like, what? The flu and bronchitis?
No.
So wait a minute. So part of me was like, so I'll see you at 3?
But here's the funny thing, and you know this feeling. I was like, bitch, I still got to keep moving. Like, I got to keep moving. I got shit to do. I was literally still in this mode of like, I got shit to do. Like, I'm supposed to be, and I could not get myself together. And it was like, when it hit me, and it was like, bitch, sit down.
Sit all the way down.
Like, go lay down.
And I made a point of, even if there was things, I figured I looked at it like this. You were sick. But I did tell people that when they saw you to check behind your ears for scars, because you know how the girls be like, I'm sick. And they come back looking refreshed. Y'all see he got the hat pulled down over his ears, and you can't see the hairline. Let's see where he put them plugs at. But no, so I knew you weren't really feeling well. And so once I knew that we had 2 competent people who were going to manage the back of the house, because my biggest fear is what has happened in years past, where I'm like, okay, I got the front of the house, you got the back of the house, but the back of the house person is incompetent. So now I'm ended up running the whole fucking thing.
Listen, the last conversation you and I had about the front and the back, you're like, what about this? What about that? I was like,
right. And so I asked like 4 questions, and then I said, can you identify someone to take your place?
So I don't have to worry about this. No, you don't. Go on. That was the last 2.
Right. And you said Tabano, and then I was like, great. And everything is cool. Right. And he handled it and everything. And the show went really well. We're still tallying up the dollars and everything. So at the end, the Gray Owl could not find the mix of family that I was looking for. So he played the original from the Dreamgirls movie. And so as it was playing, so everybody was like, I was like, it's more than you. And so then we had like this whole sing-along on stage, which was, it was funny, but it was also really beautiful because it was like us singing along. We are a family. So it was like really sweet and nice and everything. And I will just tell you, I don't know if it's the energy that I bring to this whole thing, but people were like, do we usually carry on in the suite like this? And I was like, girl, yes, the girls always carry on in the suite, or at least in the years that I remember, but the girls were carrying on. Yes, and as was like, should we stop people from carrying on? I was like, girl, we have a fucking spit roast stand and a St. Andrew's cross. Just keep it in the dark room. I don't want people fucking out in the main part of the suite, because then people will walk in and think it's a whole orgy. It's like, no, it's a hangout with a dark room.
Right.
But yeah, we had a really good time. And then the fellowship dinner on Sunday was nice. And so we had a really good time. And it just really proved that, you know, with when everybody is committed to the success of an event and everybody plays their part, no one has to do too much. No one feels like, oh, I gotta do the whole thing. I probably did a little bit more because I'm the only bitch with a key to the storage space. So it made sense that I wouldn't picked up the stuff from storage and took the stuff back to the storage. But other than that, everything went fine. And so that Saturday, they announced the IML judges and the judging staff. And our brother Sir Kenzo was announced as the judges coordinator. And that was great. So, that happened. And then So, for those of you who don't know, I mean, and I imagine that you don't because you may not follow this, but that gentleman is Dirk Daner, who is the chair, or no, he's the co-founder of the Tom of Finland Foundation. Mm-hmm. And he was announced as a judge for IML, International Mr. Leather. Oh, and also Master Taino is one of the judges. For
I like
as is Tobias, Master Tobias. So it was great. So it was, we had lots of representation. We had, and as is Grace Imsel. So it's a great judging panel full of lots of people of color and diversity. Dylan, it's my story to tell, sweetie. I got this.
Hold on, Dylan. Hold on, boo.
Slow down.
Slow your roll, boo.
And
stay on your side of the park, boo.
Right. One of our brothers, who is Mr. Bullet 2024 pup. So he's gonna be mad. He's gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad that I can't remember their name because it's the moment. I had a momentary brain fart. But he noted that it's kind of fucked up that one of the judges for International Mr. Leather is apparently an open secret in the LA community, which is where the Tom of Finland Foundation is headquartered, that this guy, Dirk Daner, I don't know if I would call him a Nazi sympathizer, but he at least is very fond of Nazi paraphernalia. So like all of his leather is not just sort of the German military look. The shit has like his meerkat has an actual swastika right on it. He has pictures with swastikas and the Iron Cross right on it. So, baby, the way that IML was like, fuck all of this. And they removed his ass real quick. And, now Mufasa Ali, one of the founders of Onyx, is now a judge. That's why I said, Dylan, let me tell a story, man. And of course, now, my voice is shot because
you've been talking all damn weekend.
I've been talking all damn weekend. But I feel pretty good. I don't feel bad. Like, I'm not gonna name no names, but some people that we know, caught the C.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw one person make a post about that,
and several people did. I mean, but I feel fine. Other than the little bit, listen, Dylan, you don't have to apologize. I'm 99% fucking with you. But yeah, so Mufasa Ali is now one of the judges, and we've sort of worked through that. And so that sort of is how my weekend or my holiday went. And so before we get into, anything else and talk about partying and bullshitting and all kinds of TikTokery and foolishness and fuckery, I did want to say that, so we have plans coming up. So bitch, me and Reggie.
Wait a minute, I just want to say this. First of all, happy belated Christmas or Merry Christmas, because I spent that with some other Onyx family as well. New Year's Eve, like I said, was on the boat as well. But then also, let's give a shout out for J5. We just passed January 5th, 2025. That was for Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So I'm gonna say,
yeah, congratulations. What is this? The 110th?
Was this 100 and what is that? 14th?
Okay.
Yeah, 14th. Yeah, 114th. I think it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll make sure. But anyway, go ahead.
So when me and best friend was sitting there talking, because best friend works for a government agency and I work for a quasi-government agency, and y'all president incoming is talking about how federal government workers got to go back to the office and shit, and we was talking about that, and it was like, well, until they say we got to come back in, I ain't worrying about it. So
wait a minute. One more. I was just talking to somebody. They said they now refer to him as YSAB. It's like, what the fuck is YSAB? Y'all stupid ass president.
Hell, well, listen, I'm down with that. Yeah, YSAB, I am with that. And but me and
boy.
until somebody tell us we can't work from home, I'm gonna work at home as much as I can. And so we was like, well, girl, since we can work from home anywhere, why can't we work at home from Fort Lauderdale for a month? So sometime in a November-December time frame, me, best friend, and Epic, and maybe one or more. We can't do but so many in this one house, so I think we're maxing it out at 4. So we get one more person to do the work from home, because we're gonna work from home for the month of at least half of the month of November and December, and then we got to come back home because we got Onyx shit to do, right, and cookies and cocktails, because I'm recommitted to having cookies and cocktails this year. I'm gonna get my life together and be ready to go, and then we're going and we're doing a cruise. I want to celebrate the New Year's on the ocean. So
it was fun.
It was very out of your book.
So, it was very fun. Like, I enjoyed myself, and it was different. It's something I'd never done. It's a bucket list, and I was so I enjoyed myself. And again, I was with, their family, 007 and Grace family, and I had a great time. And because first of all, they're party animals as is, but yes, baby, everybody else, when we get on top, listen, it was, and the Alchemy Bar was up and popping. It was up and popping. Baby, I bet it was. Everybody was jumping on me, and I was jumping on it, and it was up and popping. So yes, it was good.
So yeah, so we'll put that together, and I want to have the cruise and stuff set up. I'll do it this week because I have to have. And this is new news for you and everyone else. I have to have a very minor outpatient procedure tomorrow that has a significant amount of pain on the back end for recovery. So, bitch, I am not. It's nothing with the ears or anything like that.
Listen, I didn't say that.
And baby, I have lots of leave time, so I don't go back to work until next Wednesday. So I'll have time to put it all together. But I'm not going to be in a position to or interested in sitting for a long time. So that gives you an idea of where the procedure is going to be. So if I were a bottom, it would be called a refreshment.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Listen, I don't know what this procedure is, but this is what I'm going to say. As someone that has had an operation back there twice, it's called for a fissure, baby.
Oh yeah, I'm officially. That's why I had I had some chicken wings and some ramen noodles, because after 8:45 I cannot have anything to eat except clear liquids. So, and I'm fine. I'll be fine with it. And I'm going to be good. I know tomorrow's going to be a mess. Now, I remember I have a fistula. It's nothing crazy. So I got to get that fixed.
Listen, and those things happen. And I know someone else, but baby, listen, let me just be clear right now. And we also, I just want to know, one of our other brothers is actually has surgery as well. But listen, that first time afterwards,
Oh
baby,
yeah.
listen, my handprint is forever over at 9909. Because baby, the way I hit that wall. Ooh, okay, I'm sorry. But again,
yeah. And so
it's a temporary moment for a long-term gain. So that's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fine. But yeah, I was like, I don't even want to be entertaining the idea of being bothered with work, and I got plenty of lead time, so we're gonna leave that time and have ourselves a good old time and relax, and there we go. And so
you're gonna have to have somebody talk you through it, be like, okay, you got this. This is what we're
this is the first time I've had to have surgery in that region. So, but the last time was 20 years, literally 20 years ago. So,
okay, all right. But anyway, but
they're not giving me a whole prescription for Percocet though. I'm like, shit. They're only giving me some Tylenol 600 or some shit.
So there's 600, 650. There's also 800s. So which ones do you want? Because I got all three of them.
I'll let you know if I end up needing it, because I'm fine with just taking something that'll knock me out and sleeping in my comfortable bed. Because listen, how about the beds that we slept in the Airbnb was lovely, but them beds at IML, baby, it was like sleeping on concrete. Those beds were so fucking hard at the Hyatt.
Them beds is not for sleeping, baby. They are not for sleeping at all.
Well, no, but I did need to get 4 or 5 hours of rest, and then especially Saturday night, because Saturday night is the night where I get worn out. But Devon Deviant came through. Oh no, actually not Deviant. Aries man came through.
Really?
With a little something.
Okay.
Or Deviant, Aries man is always high.
Well, I mean, it just
he came through with a little something, and my feet throbbing and all of that retreated to a dull ache, and so I was good. So, good. And then a mouth on my penis sort of made me feel better, so I'm good.
Well, I mean, it gets cold. It was cold and it snowed, and so you needed some comfort. That's what that was.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
All right, so it is 9:17. So where am I going to start? Oh, yeah, we'll start with this dumb bitch. Go back.
This British news anchor thinks that Caribbean.
I'm not gonna lie, I just feel like I just can't see my nigga like using the umbrella looking like fucking Mary Poppins. Like, I'm sorry, I just cannot. And I feel like it's gonna be so bad when I say it, but I feel like it's sassy.
Wait, so protecting himself from the rain.
No, that's not it, because you could easily wear a jacket. When you use that umbrella, you're covering the same portions that's going to be covered by a jacket. Nah. Just take the jacket off. Why? What's not getting covered by the jacket that's getting covered by the umbrella?
My pants.
Your pants are still getting wet when you have an umbrella.
I got a big umbrella.
So why don't you just wear a jacket? Why do you wear an umbrella?
Like I said, it's sassy, so which means I feel like it's for girls. Here's why though. So it's pouring down raining one day, and my grandfather, he's on his way out, and it's, of course, my grandmother, she had umbrellas. So I'm like, you're not going to take an umbrella? He's like, no, real men don't use umbrellas. And I'm not going to lie, I think of my grandfather just so highly, because he was just that father figure for me for a long time. So he just holds like a very high place for me. So ever since he said that, it's instilled. My stepdad doesn't use umbrellas. The man I marry is not going to use an umbrella. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to lie. I just feel like I just can't see my nigga.
Girl. That's just as bad as somebody saying heterosexual men don't wipe between their butt cheeks. That is the stupidest thing I've heard. Okay.
So you can't see the words here, but this right here is my response. This was 4 weeks ago, because I've been collecting shit since we've been on break. I said, this is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my entire 53 years on this planet.
Okay, girl.
Right. Using an umbrella is sassy, which I don't even know what I mean. I know what they mean by sassy, but that is the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life.
It just doesn't. Now, if you're telling me, oh, it shouldn't be a clear one with the pink trim.
That's I guess maybe.
Even, and let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with that, because actually there's a couple of Hello Kitty umbrellas I think are cute as shit that I absolutely would rock the fuck out of. But again, I'm just trying to give some sort of base. It just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't at all.
And down here, Toya out loud said, "Your granddaddy is slow."
That part too.
Yeah.
That part too. But
you got a tight little man pussy on you, don't you? It stinks. Nice and good.
Ow! You're hurting me.
This little rabbit's hopping down the old bunny trail.
Please let me go.
You got a tight little man.
How fucking scary is this? And
first of all, Bugs Bunny got titties and everything.
He looks slow, like he looks like some sort of like mongoloid creature of some sort. I don't know.
Hey, you know something?
No, what?
I had a wet dream last night.
Wet dream? What's that?
Oh, you know, some sperm comes out of your penis.
Sperm?
Yeah, sort of a sticky stuff. Guy's part of a baby. Didn't your brother ever tell you about that?
No. He never says much about anything. So that means you can start a baby.
It was something new to Bill, this business of nocturnal emissions, just as a lot of other things were new. Growing up is a time of change. Everything seems to happen at once.
The coat that its glands.
Well, you get those from your parents.
Hey, what is this? You all taking the afternoon off?
Hey, Coach, didn't you say it was glands that made guys different?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, today in biology class, Mr. Davis said we're all different because of our parents.
That's right. I meant the way your body develops at puberty.
Puberty? What's that?
Well, that'd take a little explaining. Maybe later, huh?
Baby. Every time I see one of these, I watch it because I'm like, girl, this used to actually be how they educated people.
Yes, and this was, and our parents. These were our parents. Because listen, my mother was born in 1944,
and my father was born in 1943. Yeah.
Starting on Monday, employees can trade 3 PTO hours for 1 bitch slap that can be used on anyone within the company.
Baby, can I explain to you right now? Baby, I would listen. My PTO doesn't start over again until July, but baby, I will take the last remaining. I will cash them in. What's the conversion? What's the conversion?
I get 208 hours of PTO a year, and I carried over 140. So that means I have 348 hours of PTO. That is how many bitch slaps is that? Let's see. 348 divided by 3. I can slap 116 bitches.
Listen.
And I already got a long ass line that's at least 200 people deep.
The way. If
I'm going to eat and then you want me to go clean my hands and then jerk off and clean my hands again?
Why do you have to clean your hands again?
I would because after you jerk off, you clean your hands, right?
You wash them like in the sink?
Yes, I wash my hands because there's jizz on them.
You just wipe them off.
With what?
Toilet paper, tissue.
Yeah, but if you
don't wash your hands after you beat off?
No.
Why? Why are you saying it like we're fucking wrong?
I wash my hands after I go to the bathroom for sure.
Yeah, you should wash your hands after you go to the bathroom, but you should wash your hands after you jerk off. There's jizz on your knuckles.
Sure.
So
yeah, but not anymore. There's not because I wiped it off.
No, but there's still, if you put peanut butter on your hand, wiped it off, and then wiped again, there'd still be some peanut butter.
I'm concerned now that you think that your cum has the consistency of peanut butter. You're talking about a fluid versus a thick paste.
It's not
of
peanut butter.
peanut.
It's more like yellow gelatin. But
yes, exactly. I'm comfortable that I could wipe Jello off my hands.
you don't wash your hands after you masturbate.
No.
Ever?
Think about all the times you've kissed my hands. Hello.
Buddy.
Yeah. That's what makes me laugh behind your back, that I always present to you like this. And I go, he's doing it. He's kissing my hand again.
You do. I know you do.
No.
You're the most. If I'm going to eat.
I just, that.
First of all, I'm dying because, bitch, you will do that in a heartbeat. You'll be like,
I will be like, there's jizz on my hand, though.
But
well, and so I'm in the middle here, and I'm gonna be very honest. If I jerk off before I go to bed, well, you know, I love my towels from King Spa. So I got like 1,000 of these from King Spa, and I keep a jizz towel like on the floor or right by the bed or whatever. So if I jerk off at night, I wipe my hand off, wipe my penis off, and go to bed. But then the next morning, I'm washing my hands. But if I'm randomly sitting around, like if I'm just sitting around like right now, not on the show, obviously, if I just jerk off right now, I would, of course, wash my hands because I'm still sort of hanging out in the world during the day. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes complete, because I was going to say, baby, first of all, now, but here's the thing. I know for me, like, yes, I'll have that like paper towel or because usually all my white ones that I have, because I can just bleach it and everything. Those are the ones I kind of keep, so I can, but even then, I got to get up because all that shit is all in it. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Let me get on up and go ahead and rinse my hands off. Like,
I don't know about y'all, but I have a lot of, I produce a lot. So that shit is all over the place.
And then you're trying to clean it up and you're just sliding it all around and shit.
Baby, if it's been a particularly good moment, one time I was like, oh, girl, is that on the wall? It got over my head and got on the wall.
Listen, baby, I'm 53. I am not having no Olympic puddle jumping.
Those are on rare festive occasions. That's not an everyday event.
No, ma'am. Listen, if that thing come up to my chin, that's a good day. It's like, oh, it came up to my chin. That's a good day. Yeah. All right, here we go.
But yeah, but the fact that he never washes his hands after he jerks off is, kind of, yeah. I know for a fact that he don't wash his hands every time he come out the bathroom. I just know that for sure.
Because he's talking about, I wash my hands come out the bathroom. Why? What's the difference? That's what it sounds like. But okay.
You produce a fluid that came out of your penis. You should wash your hands every time that happens. Or most of the time, except for the times we said did, whatever. And listen, people are going to, this is going to go viral, and people are going to be like, Dominion and Epic don't always wash their hands after they jerk off. And I'm going to be like, and
that's not what we.
That's not what I said.
That's not what we said.
How often I get tested?
Yeah, but since we're here,
I don't get tested. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's right. This was murdering me because
if I'm gonna eat,
what this dude was saying is frightening.
So y'all get tested.
I don't get tested. I'm not even gonna lie.
Dondre.
I don't get tested, and I don't use condoms at all. I never use condoms. I don't get tested because it's like I feel like I make a connection, like just off rip with somebody. Like if I'm asking the right questions and I know how you moving, I smell the HIV on them. Exactly.
Oh wow.
Rest in peace, Dondre. He's gonna be dead by 2026 if this is how he's moving from.
I just am like, baby, I need to burn this Negro into my memory. So when I go to Atlanta, if I ever see him, I will go the other way. Because baby, HIV is the least of the things that he got.
Baby, let's talk about that. And that's probably the least of it. And that's probably the one thing that's probably the most manageable at this particular point. Because baby, you probably, if you have some old virulent fucking form of like
herpes or
syphilis, like that could just fucking take you out. Listen, chlamydia is still motherfucking real. Gonorrhea is still motherfucking real, and it's strong. It's getting stronger and stronger. Dondre, go on with that. Go on, man. Go sit down.
How often y'all get tested?
Oh, that was the end of it. Okay.
Listen, that is some funny shit to look at, but in that moment, bitch, I would have died.
I would have a fucking heart attack right there on that bridge.
I would have died. Oh my God.
Come lunchtime, we serve this country mustard mold with everything, from sandwich fixins to vegetables.
Miracle Whip salad dressing gives it a tangy zip, mixed with mustard, horseradish, gelatin, and whipped cream. Chill, unmold, and serve.
Come lunchtime, we serve this country mustard mold with everything, from sandwich fixins to vegetables.
Miracle Whip salad dressing gives it a tangy zip, mixed with mustard, horseradish, gelatin, and whipped cream. Chill.
Mayonnaise, mustard, horseradish, Jell-O, and whipped cream. Oh God.
I can't. This is why you shouldn't eat at everybody's house. This is why you shouldn't eat at everybody's house. This right here.
But then I'm like, what are you actually even supposed to do with it? Because I guess so. Listen, I don't like Miracle Whip. But,
I'm not even a fan either.
But if I did, and maybe if you minus the gelatin, if you mix this up, you know, maybe you could be like, this is a sandwich spread. I mix mayonnaise, mustard, horseradish, and I don't know why you would put whipped cream in it, but those things could be put on a slice on some bread in a sandwich. But what are you supposed to do with this cut into a mold shape like this? And they got like pieces of red pepper and shit, and cherry tomatoes, and what is this? Celery and shit. Are you just supposed to like stab it and break off a hunk and then eat it? I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? How are you even supposed to eat that? First of all, it's disgusting because it's got Miracle Whip in it. And when I was a kid, before I knew better, I used to like Miracle Whip. But now I think Miracle Whip is, I used to like Miracle Whip and did not like mayonnaise. Now I like mayonnaise and cannot stand Miracle Whip. Lola is doing it today. Put it in a mold. Bitches love molds.
There is nothing about this that screams. And even mixing those things together, minus the Jell-O, that might sound interesting for a taste, the mayonnaise, because I like to mix mayonnaise and mustard just in general. And
but it's not mayonnaise, it's Miracle Whip.
That with my French fries and on sandwiches or whatever, just in general. For me, even with like my chicken tendon. But Miracle Whip, no, ma'am. But then the horseradish might give it. So I'd have to try. But in a mold, absolutely not. This is why you don't eat at other people's houses. That's it right there.
Right.
That's it. That's the
The line says POV, no one asked. Girl, if you're doing all of that when you swallowing, something is wrong with you, not him.
There's a lot going on, I think.
Yeah.
Bitch, I remember. Bitch, Feeling like you slept at the airport and shit.
Bitch, why was this me coming back from Orlando? Because originally I was supposed to fly in and out of Orlando, but after I bought the ticket was when Volt said that he was going to have his Kwanzaa party. So I changed it to fly into Orlando and out of into Fort Lauderdale and out of Orlando. And then I was like, okay, great. I can be on this 7 o'clock flight and be home by like 10 o'clock and in bed, which meant I had to be at the airport at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I am this dog. I'm sitting there, I'm there like, wow. Why am I up so early? And then they kept sending all of these emails about you got to make sure you're at the airport 2.5 hours early because it's going to be crazy. It's holiday travel. I get there and I am into and through security in 5 minutes.
But you also have global entry, don't you?
I have
or clear or whatever.
In clear.
Okay.
But they were saying, regardless of whether you had pre-check or clear or whatever, even those, because you know they be giving out pre-check like water now, so the line still be long as hell. I got to the airport, and by the time I was at security, my flight left at 8 o'clock, and by 6:10, my flight left at 8:45, and by 6:10, I was sitting there in that hard ass seat because, of course, the lounge. The way Orlando Airport is set up, the lounge ain't where I got to go. So there was nowhere. I couldn't go to the lounge and relax for 2.5 hours. I had to sit on that hard ass seat with the common people. Bitch.
What gets me is always at that early time in the morning, you got to go park your car. And if I'm going somewhere long distance, then I try to save a few dollars by parking a long distance parking lot. Bitch. Right. It's dark outside. It's fucking raining. You try to get this shit together. You try to carry cameras.
Yeah, each bag weigh 100 pounds.
Right. You know, you looking sassy and shit. Then you got to put on. Then I think I was going to Cancun or something. That I had on shorts and some sneakers and shit. Then I was fucking cold. I was like, right. I was like, I'm not doing this shit ever again.
Right.
Bitch, that is me every
goddamn day.
Every time we come back for the beginning of the semester, it is always me. And I'm just like, fuck. And then I'm always like, how can I help you?
Right. Because people be coming and like, Brian, I got all this problem, his problem, something. And I'll be like, well, go talk to a manager to fix it. Fuck. And then I'm like, bitch, I am the manager.
Bitch, it wears me out.
It wears me out. Damn it, I am the program manager.
Yeah, it wears me out. And I just be like, what the fuck? Like if I know how to do it, why the fuck do you not know how to do it? Like, what the fuck? Never mind. Come on. Yeah.
But you know what? That does get on my nerves because the questions that they are asking is questions that when I was at their level, I know I could have solved without involving my manager.
That part. And then it's like, we just went over this. We went over this as a refresher.
And the thing is, and for you, yours might be different because yours is a little bit more process. So it's like, whatever. But for me, it's always problem solving. And so when I come up with a solution, baby, the solution I come up with is never like, nigga, I just invented a new thing. You know what I mean? It's never like, bitch, I have invented this cup. It's always like, well, just take the old cup that you got and use that.
Throw it away and get the new cup.
Why are you even involving me in this? It's like, Jesus Christ.
Like,
you know,
I just did the same thing
to me because, again, like I said, it's never like we need to, put our heads together and come up with some innovative solution. It's like, girl, just use the existing shit we already got.
They listen. They're like, oh, I forgot. Okay, well, I get it. Listen, okay, all right. Now you took me away from what the fuck I'm doing. Now I got to go start over again. What the fuck I'm doing? Then I got to do the same thing for like 5 other people. Listen. Okay.
Right.
All right.
We can't shake on it. Next time you're walking past people, say excuse me. Don't be pushing through people. Alright? But you did, and you didn't say nothing until I said something. Oh, you didn't realize that you were squeezing through people and that you didn't fit. You didn't realize it. Well, let me help you realize it, that you're not invisible and that you motherfucking pushed me to get to where you was going, alright? Let me help you realize that. Okay? Open your pretty eyes. Have a good day.
And listen,
I don't get when people don't. I don't understand.
Don't get. And here's the thing: I don't want to say because I see people do it all the time, but I hear these kinds of stories a lot more from Black people and people of color, particularly Black and Latin people, and particularly Black women, that people just squeeze past them. And I talk all the time about how when I go to New York City, white women will expect you to move. And when you don't move and they bump into you, they look at you like it's your fault. I'm like, bitch, I am already in this path.
Right.
And I am standing still. You are on your phone, not fucking paying attention. So here's the thing. If I see you coming towards me, we can, if both of us veer off of our path a little bit, then we can pass one another. But if you expect me to move, why do I have to be the one that moves?
That's not going to happen.
About you that determines that I absolutely have to be the one that moves. Sometimes I will move because it's just I don't want to engage or whatever. But bitch, particularly when I'm in New York City, bitch, I will stand still as a rock. And bitch, I am 265 pounds of fat and muscle. And bitch, when I don't want to be moved, I will not. What's the song say? I shall not be moved. Bitch, hey. Exactly. And this bitch will run right into me and I will not give even a single fuck. Because one, you aren't paying attention, and two, you walk through the world with this expectation that everybody is going to move for you.
Baby, listen, I feel like, especially when you're not a small person, you are always like, I'm always cognizant of like, oh, I'm, sorry, excuse me, like you put your hand out because I don't. Even walking past someone in an aisle where they're looking at something, like they're looking on shelves, I'm always like, oh, excuse me, because I don't want them listen, because I don't want listen, and I appreciate when people do it for me, like I appreciate it, but don't just walk into me and then don't say, and then you're like, I'm sorry, you bumped into me, and then when you look back,
I need to squeeze past you. All you got to do is say, excuse me, and I'll be like, oh, my bad, and then I'll move. Right. But don't just try to, like, bump me and slide your way past, because, bitch, you know what? When you try to do that, I'm going to throw that shoulder back and knock your fucking jaw out of place.
Listen, I am trying to get better in 2025. I really don't want to put my hands on people. I am really trying. But baby, I just acknowledge it. It's okay. It happens. Like sometimes we're not paying. Right. Just acknowledge it. But between you don't acknowledge it, or if I have to acknowledge it for you and you give me a quick response, that right there when I say my thermometer just goes boop, like boop, I'd be like, right. Like, oh, I just want to reach out and grab. Oh my God, I just want to reach and grab people.
Babe, stop sitting on that or you're gonna break it.
No.
Babe, can you stop sitting on that? You're gonna break it.
Okay.
Why are you keep sitting on my couch right there? You're going to break it. Get off my couch. You can have a seat on the floor. You don't sit right here. That you only want to hear me when I talk like this. Babe, stop.
So when this was posted, a lot of women was like, yeah, you only respect it. And I said, this group I belong to is called Black Ass News. I said, there is no way that in a house where I pay the mortgage or a part of the mortgage that anybody is going to talk to me that way. No, that just will not happen. I don't give a fuck if you don't like how I'm sitting on the sofa because I probably paid for some of it or all of it. But I don't care. No one talks to me that way in my house. But a lot of women was like, but they only listen when it's us. So when in this group, I love this group called Black Ass News. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times they get into these arguments, and I just don't engage because if I put it under the category of heterosexual foolishness, that men and women have decided this is how they're going to interact. But if me and you live together, and you was my man and I was your man, you might not like how I was sitting on the sofa, but I'll be damned if you're gonna talk to me that way about it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like you said, this is our house, this is our sofa, this is what we, and so, but listen, if I put 29 cents in the motherfucker, listen, no, that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, you're not.
No.
And the way that she felt comfortable, listen, I understand that she's frustrated, but they need to talk about it because something's got to change, because I would have gone I know this is a skit, so okay, sure.
Well, there's part of it, yeah, it's a skit, but then I feel like this is more of the parent to the child, like that type of conversation, because again, in a household with, like, I've had moments like this where my mom has said stuff about certain things. So yes, I get that from a parent perspective about kids and how reckless they can be to a certain extent, especially, but a contemporary, my partner, my husband, what? No, ma'am, no.
Now, I get it. I get that it's frustrating, but it was the way that she talked to him at the end. He was like, you're not going to be sitting on my couch. It felt like the way that a parent talked to a child, and that was just very triggering to me. Not triggering in like but I was just like, no, girl, I just would not put up with that in a relationship, because I feel like that is the kind of language that's used in other situations, and you ain't got but like 1 or 2 times to talk to me like that until we have a real conversation, and we probably wouldn't have gotten this far anyway. But Lola says humph. So I'm waiting for her to see, because she's gonna be like, yeah, he shouldn't have his ass on the sofa either. But and I respect that too. But I feel like me and Lola wouldn't have had that problem, because I don't sit on the sofa like that. But to me, it's bigger than the sofa per se. It's about how she is talking to him.
It's
like
how they communicate. Yeah, it's how they communicate. Yeah.
But then also, like, well, girl, how many times I got to tell you not to sit on the fucking sofa like this? So we either gonna talk about it, or you're gonna have to just learn to let it go.
That, or when the motherfucker breaks, then it's like you have a broken couch, so this is what the fuck we're gonna do. So
right, and then now we got a joint account, but that money to fix this broken ass sofa ain't coming out of the joint account because I ain't helped break it.
Right. So it's like, there's a couple different ways we can handle this.
Right. But the way we're going to handle it is not for you to talk to me like I'm 5.
Yeah. We had a
Are you rebellious with your
couch too? Yeah, I would say we had a white couch. My mom's last couch was a white couch. It's a beautiful couch. And we never really
How old were you when you bought a white couch?
Which one? She had 2 different ones. So I was in high school when she bought the first white couch that I remember, but literally she got that covered in plastic, and I was just like, why would you do that? But I was like, girl, this is your couch. It is what it is. But then the second one, when I was in college, when we moved in, when she brought the house, she brought another white couch. And so it was treated with all this other stuff. And it just we never really sat on it any damn way, because we weren't a sit in the living room family. We were a sit in the kitchen or sit at the dining room table type of family. Like, we never sat on the it was just there, whether it was white or not. We just never sat on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was always one of the things in my spaces, my couches, I sit on my couches because that's where I'd like to sit on my couch. And it wasn't that I couldn't, but it got to a certain point where it was kind of like, we don't really sit there. Like, this is not a room. It's not set up to sit and talk. It's not set up to sit and watch TV. It's just a space to sit down.
Yeah.
So.
Are you rebellious with your fingering choices?
Generally, yes. I like unhinged fingerings. Whatever suits the hand and sounds good. For me, it's very important to find what works for oneself.
Like thumbs on black keys.
Yeah, or like multiple fingers on like one thing. I like all of that stuff.
Are you rebellious with your fingering choices?
Generally, yes.
So I just thought this was funny because
I was like, what?
Because he's a pianist.
Lord have mercy.
So because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, little cutie. I was like, are you rebellious with your fingering choices? And I was like, go on.
Oh
my God, is that a Cybertruck? Get ready for that cyber suck.
Yeah, so what? I'm just a tech bro, but I'm looking for some neck, ho. Oh, do I need a truck? No. Do I need a personality? Absolutely. If it ain't a cyber, I ain't getting inside her. How do you get in?
I've just really never been a fan of guys with trucks. They're just, oh my God, I guess I'm pregnant now?
Oh, she's pregnant. Wait, how do I go? Elon, if you're listening, open up for me. Call me Elon Thrust in my cyber truck. 0 to 60, 2.6 seconds. The only person that can compete with that is me in the bedroom. This thing has a turning radius of Stephen Hawking.
So I posted this because I cannot tell you.
Shut up!
Right, Stephen Hawking, that was rude. But I cannot tell you how many Cybertrucks I saw when I was in South Florida.
They're fucking horrible to me.
They're ugly as shit. Yeah. I think we're almost done.
My fiance attended a bachelor party in Vegas a few months ago, and he just told me that he hooked up with one of his friends, who is a guy, by the way.
Okay.
And I didn't know he swung that way, and he says he didn't either.
Okay. I was going to say, obviously, you know, my initial reaction is when you said he went to a bachelor party, my mind went straight to the gutter, like, oh no, what did he do?
He said it was his first time hooking up with a guy, and I
Oops, sorry.
asked him if he was gay, and he's like, hell no. And I was just like, okay, calm down. So why did you hook up with a man then? I mean, he just had like this really strange explanation. He said like the time change threw him off and made him like gay due to jet lag. I don't even know if this is possible.
Gay due to jet lag. Let me write that one down. Let me write that one down because I feel like we started 2025 off with stupid shit. Gay due to jet lag. Okay.
Yes. And we still have more, but we're running out of time. So gay jet lag. So I'm gonna just leave it all alone. So there's that.
That's that, yeah. Gay due to
Well,
jet lag.
all right, kids. We have had a fabulous time. I am arranging an interview with this guy, Donald Shorter, who is he's a black guy. You might actually even be friends with him on Instagram. He's what do you call it? A film director. He directed a film about boys in the leather community that I actually saw as part of the Tom of Finland Foundation thing. And so we were already having a conversation at MAL about him being on the show because Tom of Finland Foundation is an actual foundation. They support artists who come and live at the Tom of Finland house and work on their art. So they're like artists in residence for several months. And so now, in light of all of this, I thought it might even be more prescient to have this black man come and talk about not only his film, but his life and a bunch of other stuff. So that's going to be coming up soon. And you know, we're going to have lots of adventures as the weeks move on, leading up to our 300th episode, assuming we don't cancel any shows between now and then.
We're going to do our best not to
right, but our 300th episode will be on June 4th, I think. Yeah, whatever it'll be the Wednesday before Pride
during an epic birthday celebration. So that's
during an epic birthday celebration. So you know, I think we might. I think I set it up so that we skip June 4th, and then we have the final show on June 11th before we go on. Oh no, we still got the rest of the month. Yeah, so we'll either way. We'll be there. So coming up in June, 300.
Yep. Listen.
Any last words and comments, young man?
No, I don't have any other. Listen, I missed you all. I'm glad you're back. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, because again, you know, we're on Facebook. I'm sorry, we're no longer on Facebook.
Yeah, we're exclusively on
YouTube. So, and you know, we're going to try to keep in our normal time frame. But again, we can still go over. We went over on Facebook as well. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, tell everybody else about us. And listen, let's just keep the fun going in 2025. We had a lot of stuff going on in 2024. Let's just keep it fun in 2025. So again, glad you guys are here. So that's what I got. We're gonna make 2025 a new fun year.
Amen. All right, kids, it's been lovely, and thank y'all for coming out. God bless you, and good night. Bye. All righty then. So